Never been much of a fighter. Apologies for what you're about to see. Come on.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So surprise, surprise, they dropped a clip, like an extended clip for episode 1. It just adds some more context to what's going on with Davos trying to fight off the rest of the Night's Watch. Couple really awesome things going on here. One, Davos is fighting with Longclaw, meaning that even if he weren't that great with a sword, he would be able to hack the other swords of the Night's Watch to pieces. Favorite example of a Valyrian sword versus a regular sword is chopping through one of Littlefinger's guard's swords, just like it was no big deal. Fair warning, I'm going to drop a couple of F-bombs just because I'm going to talk about Olly a little bit, so we have to talk about the special Reddit thread for Olly. So here we go. This scene is kind of like Davos versus Olly, dawn of fuck Olly. Because fuck that guy, seriously. Remember, Olly is the one who killed Ygritte during season 4. It seems so long ago you've almost forgotten it. But that was the beginning of the fuck Olly Reddit thread. But I almost can't remember if that didn't start to trend till after the season 5 finale when he kind of lured Jon Snow into that trap. In the books it went down a little differently. The giant 1-1 had killed one of the other Night's Watch, so they were retaliating for that. Jon Snow tried to stop them. So for them that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. They, like Olly on the TV show, had been offended with his treatment of the wildlings, treating them as equals, being really nice to them. They didn't like that at all. The show really kind of put that all on Olly. The show did have a couple scenes with characters like Alliser Thorne and his supporters within the Night's Watch. They weren't really happy with the way they were dealing with the wildlings, but the writers really did make Olly the mouthpiece of that. They killed my family, how can you be helping them so much? So thus we arrive at fuck Olly. But even though in this scene he's kind of standing in the background of this crowd here, do you think that the show would kill him off? Do you think with that innocent face of his, given all the things that he's done, they would spare him? I think we'd all love to see Ghost turn him into a piece of beef jerky. Speaking of which, we actually get a much better shot of Ghost, a frontal shot, because in the trailer they jumped over him so quickly you couldn't tell whether or not he was alive. And I think most of us assumed that he was just sitting watch over Jon's body along with Melisandre and Davos. Whatever they end up doing with Olly, I definitely think these two that are hacking the door down are going to be the red shirts. They'll be the ones to get cut down first. Alliser Thorne is the big question mark too, because he's always hated Jon Snow, but he does believe in the tenets of the Night's Watch. He's just really stuck in the mud when it comes to wildlings. My initial thought here is that half of these wildlings end up going down, with the exception of Olly and Alliser Thorne, maybe a couple others. Jon Snow is spared from being burned for a couple more episodes, then he comes back, and they're so dumbstruck by what's happened that they fall in line. A lot of you guys have asked me as to, whether or not Jon Snow is freed from his vows because he's died. So if he were to come back, he wouldn't have to be a member of the Night's Watch anymore. Even if that were true, I don't think he would take off. I think he takes their mission very seriously, and he's seen what is coming, so he knows that if the realm is going to survive, they are the last defense. But he's also still a human being, so with all the chaos going on south of the wall with the Boltons, I do think in his head, he would try to help his family. But the real question is, do Jon Snow and the Night's Watch come for the Boltons first, or do the Boltons make the first move? Let me know how you think it's going to go down, because I definitely think there's going to be a North Remember storyline with Sansa. She'll try to move against the Boltons. Then you also have the wildlings, Jon Snow and the Night's Watch, and then you have the Boltons with their supporters too. So the big war that they've been teasing seems like it's mostly going to be localized to the north, although there'll be big conflicts going on all over the place. It's just that when you talk about big pitched battle, most of that's going to be happening in the north, it seems like. If you didn't see the Tower of Joy video that I posted yesterday, they also announced that episode 1 is titled The Red Woman. Now obviously that refers to Melisandre, but usually titles are metaphorical. They apply to all the storylines that are going on. So the Red Woman could also apply to Cersei as in Lannister Red. There's also a new Red Priestess that they cast for the Eastern storyline, so there'll be one that'll show up around Daenerys. But above all else, when you think Red Woman, you think Melisandre, and because Melisandre is standing here next to Jon Snow's body, she's going to experience a dramatic turnaround. But no, I don't think that Jon Snow's going to be coming back to life in the first episode. I think they want to hold on to that as long as possible. So let me know in the comments, which episode do you think that he's going to come roaring back in? I'll say definitely before episode 5. I'd be really surprised if he came back before episode 3. Depending on how fast things move, I think it's most likely to be like episode 4. But he could totally come back in episode 2. I'll be shouting extra loud if it happens though. Quick reminder, there is a new round of the giveaway that's going on now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. This was really unexpected, so I'm still doing another Game of Thrones bonus video on Sunday. If you have any special requests for that, just leave them in the comments. Really surprised HBO dropped this extended clip. They always change the way they market the show each year. I can't remember if they were dropping full scenes like this last year. Usually in terms of footage, it's like a couple big trailers and then a couple smaller teasers. And I do think sometime in the next week or two, we will get another proper trailer, like one final big trailer. Just in case you haven't seen it, you can click here for the Tower of Joy teaser that I posted yesterday. It's kind of like the Spanish language video, so I added some subtitles. And you can click here for my Season 6 trailer breakdown. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.